Welcome to Navigating Texas Workforce Commission for Musicians, an interactive panel discussion. Fridays at 1 p.m. Brought to you by the Austin Federation of Musicians and with the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee. The Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee are members of the Austin Federation of Musicians, Local 433 of the American Federation of Musicians, aka the Musicians Union. Some of us work as contractor 1099 workers, and others work as employee W-2 workers in various aspects of the music industry.
The goal of this session is to share our experiences, including trials and tribulations related to the Texas Workforce Commission, or TWC, with other musicians in the state of Texas to aid in navigating the TWC application process. We are not experts in unemployment assistance. We are musicians.
The information contained herein does not constitute either legal advice or an official pronouncement or a position of the Austin Federation of Musicians, but rather is only the personal opinions of the panelists. The panelists do not give legal advice or make official rulings on agency matters, should not be cited as authorities in any matter before the agency or when dealing with agency staff about a case, and must minimize their involvement with administrative processes. They also do not give legal advice on any other matter, and any information they should give should not be used as a basis for taking any employment-related action. Before taking any employment action that could adversely affect an employee, or before using any sample form or policy you may obtain from this group, you should consult a licensed private sector employment law attorney of your choice. All right, welcome back. This is Navigating Texas Workforce Commission for Musicians for October 16th, 2020. Let me pull up my notes here. Yeah. All right. We always start with the websites for the most accurate information on these topics. Obviously, go to the Texas Workforce Commission website, which is twc.texas.gov. They also have a Facebook page, and they put a lot of current information out there. But the most accurate stuff is on their main website, but it's not always that easy to find. So we try to provide links where we can to help you find that info. And we also have, the Local 433 Musicians Unemployment Information Sharing page on Facebook, and of course the Locals page on Facebook, which is Austin Federation of Musicians. We've got our COVID-19 resources page on our website, which is afm433.com/COVID-19. There's a lot of good stuff there. And of course, we've been talking a lot about Who Represents Me, which is wrm.capital.texas.gov. And that's where you can find out who your representatives are in the state and national government. And of course, we're electing or re-electing some of those folks right now. And it's very important for us all to vote. Early voting started on Tuesday. And you can still get a mail-in ballot in Texas. And, of course, Election Day is coming right up in just a few weeks. So please vote. We also, down in the description, there's all those links are there, plus the links to the various petitions and letter writing campaigns, including, the ones from the American Federation of Musicians, the ones from the AFL-CIO, and even the SaveOurStages.com. There's several streaming concerts this weekend benefiting that cause for the independent venues, which are in danger now, of course, as well. So we always talk about beverages, and it's just me here today. The members of the committee are off doing very important things right now, and that's always heartening because there is still music happening, and there is music you can do in your home and in other places where you can be safe and socially distanced. A lot of our musicians can wear a mask while they're performing, so some can't, but you can still accomplish safety by using the right protocols and being smart about it, and keeping your distance, bringing your own microphone, goodness, yeah. If you're singing or playing a wind instrument into your microphone, bring your own microphone. We've recommended that since the beginning. So, but anyway, yeah, the beverages. I'm doing coffee once again today. But yeah, you can email questions or your story into the committee, the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee of the local musicians union, at their email address, which is just ucac@afm433.com. If there's something you'd like us to talk about on this panel discussion or this broadcast, let us know. If you'd like to share your story, we'd love to have you on the broadcast if you're in the music business and you have a story about unemployment or just this year. We'd love to have you share that with us, either by the email or by coming on the broadcast with us. So, yeah, get a hold of us there. You can also get a hold of us on the Facebook page, for the local, and also on the unemployment sharing page, information sharing page. So, don't hesitate to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. So we'll probably have a short session today. But like many of the other weeks, there's a little bit of news and it's pretty important. So we definitely wanted to come on and let you know about it. So yeah, let's start with let's start with the TWC news. So there was an announcement on Tuesday. That they're going to reinstate the work search requirements on November 1st, and those have been waived since the beginning of the pandemic. And it's a requirement that you document a certain number of work searches every week, and then the TWC I guess randomly verifies that you have done those. The problem is they verify for weeks in the past, so if you haven't documented them, a lot of times it's kind of too late to get that documentation, so that they're trying to get you to document it every week that you receive benefits. Now, of course, if you're a union member in Texas, you never have to show work search activities at all. You can put 0 every week because all your unions have what they call a hiring hall, which is antiquated language. We call it a referral service in our union, but it's always looking for work on behalf of the members. So, yeah, if you're a member in good standing of a union, you never have to show this anyway. But if you're not, it can get a little complicated. If you're a contractor or self-employed person, and you're receiving benefits under the pandemic unemployment assistance. That what's been our understanding is that the TWC is going to verify your activities that are going towards restarting your business, in the same way that they verify work searches for folks that get W-2s and are employees. But those things are pretty easy for a contractor or a self-employed person. They're pretty easy to document. Just networking activities, advertising activities, social media activities related to your business. So it's just showing that documentation. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, because this has never happened before. There was an announcement back in the summer, back in June, that the TWC was going to reinstate these requirements in July, and that freaked everybody out for a couple of weeks, and then they didn't wind up doing it. And a lot of that had to do with the unions and the AFL-CIO, which is the mother organization of all unions in the United States, the Texas AFL-CIO rather, and all the unions in Texas. We opposed the reinstatement of those work search requirements, and that had a big effect on that decision to not reinstate those back in July. So we need to let them know that probably it's still not that great of a time to do it, especially as the numbers are starting to surge again. it's really pretty unfair to reinstate that right now. So yeah, let your voice be heard. And support your union. That this is something that the union does for all workers. We advocate for things on behalf of workers, on all workers. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, we'll have in the description we'll have links to some of these articles, including the ones from back in June when they announced that they would reinstate it in July, and then they changed their mind, and that was a good thing. That was a good decision. So yeah. The next topic is, of course, in Austin. The city council met again yesterday on Thursday, and talked more about the funding for some of the music industry, uh, particularly the independent venues in town. Um, and there was last week there was some funding passed, and then this week they talked about how that would be distributed, and if there could be some more funding there. And so far, it still kind of looks like they're going to try to use up what is already allocated and then revisit that. So we'll see, but that's something to keep an eye on for sure, because we do want our independent venues to survive this crisis, so we have a place to work, place to play, place to yeah, to bring music back to. So um, yeah. Oh, and there was a letter written to the mayor's office by several Grammy winners, local Grammy winners, as well as Grammy nominees and several other, um, uh, you know, very significant musicians um, last week, and that seems to have had an effect, and that was great. And most of those people are union members of the AFM, so um, solidarity, and yeah, congratulations on having a great effect there to our members and the musicians that participated in that. We just got to keep letting them know that we're watching them at all levels of government, including city, state, and the federal government too. Um, they just don't believe it sometimes that we care what they're doing, and now we really do, because we need them to do their jobs. So. Okay, and then the might be the biggest news story this week is about bars in Texas. The governor's office announced that bars could reopen under certain conditions, and with the approval of the county judges in Texas. So so that went into effect on Wednesday, I believe. And that's the 14th. Um, yeah, so this weekend you may be able to go get a drink. You may be able to get a gig. You may be able to go see live music under certain conditions in certain counties. Um, the news locally here is that the Travis County, where Austin is not one of those counties. The county judge opted to not allow bars to open here due to the hospital occupancy, which is part of the governor's orders, and also because of certain research out of the University of Texas about the rising case levels that are happening. So, but that's going to be reevaluated in 14 days from Wednesday, from what I understand from the articles, and so that could change. So that's something to keep an eye on. It looks like most of the surrounding counties of Travis County did successfully approve that, and so they'll have bars open at 50% capacity, unless they're except for the outdoor areas. There isn't a limit on the outdoor areas, and yeah, there's a few other considerations. And also, of course, the county judges are able to also impose their own recommendations and or restrictions on their county bar reopenings. So it makes things a little more confusing. We don't have a state standard that applies to the whole state. Well, we do, but then it also it adds on for the counties. So you kind of have to know what the governor's recommendations and orders are and your county orders are. But and it looks like they have to close statewide. They have to close at 11 p.m. or at least stop serving alcohol at 11 p.m. So that's interesting. There are several maps available, and I'll have those in the show notes too. And they get a little confusing because some of the maps show these are county maps of the different counties. Some of them show which counties are able to make the decision to open bars according to the governor's orders, and then other maps show which counties have actually done that and are allowing their bars to open. So it looks like, yeah, like I said, most of the surrounding counties, with the possible exception of Lee County, it looks like Lee County is either still deciding. Then that's to the east of us in Travis County. That's where Giddings is, and it looks like yeah, it looks like they may still be deciding, or maybe they have decided not to open yet. But most of the other counties around Travis County are opening bars. So if you live in Travis County in Austin, you don't have far to go if you really would like to go do that. So there are options, but just stay safe. Wear the mask, stay socially distanced, be smart. Don't drink and drive. all kinds of good stuff there. But yeah, we'll have the articles on that as well in the show notes. There's also there is a new bit of material on the TWC website about the work search requirements for contractors and self-employed people, but it is buried. Where is that? Under their page. It's on the page Self-Employed Texans and the CARES Act, which for most of us, the CARES Act funding has already been exhausted. So I'm not sure why they put it there, but we'll have a link in the show notes that describes on the TWC website where it describes the various reopening your business activities that can work for musicians who are either self-employed or are contractors only. So, and I guess it does have something to do, I didn't mention this before, if you intend to reopen your business, there's a kind of a set of activities, but if it says if you do not intend to reopen your business, then you fall into the same category as the employees or W-2 workers, where you have to complete the official work search activities each week in order to be able to provide documentation when the TWC randomly asks for it for a particular week. Yeah, if you do not intend to reopen your business, the rules are a little bit different. But I'm fairly certain that most musicians intend to reopen their business eventually. We're very resilient in this business, and nobody's stopped us so far. So yeah, I would imagine most of us are pretty secure in our fortitude to reopen. So yeah, I believe that's all the news that I have this week. Let me just check if there are any comments here. Any comments in the chat? Nope, that's all right though. Yeah, so if you are a musician, if you are in the music industry, don't give up. We're going to get through this together by sharing information and spreading solidarity, unity amongst our profession. Yeah, we will survive this. All of us have survived, much worse things individually over the years. This is hitting us all together. So sharing this kind of information, we can get through this, and we will. So yeah, let us know what you'd like to talk about on this broadcast relating to surviving COVID and navigating the Texas Workforce Commission for musicians. And we will see you next week. Bye bye.